The bag was unzipped on the kitchen counter like an open book, and the thing that fell into my palm felt foreign and wrong in ways I hadn't expected. I stared at the thin latex circle, the neat packaging, and something in my chest tightened. Not just shock, but a cold, prickly betrayal that made the room tilt. For a long minute, I could only listen to the refrigerator hum and the distant squeal of a trolley outside, while memories rearranged themselves into questions. When, why, who? My hand closed over the condom as if squeezing answers out of it, and I told myself I deserved to know the truth. Anger is a fast and clumsy craftsman. It built a plan in me before my better sense had time to protest. I wanted the discovery to sting her the way the sight of it had stung me. So I took something from the utility drawer, something that had always been there for safety, and slipped it into the bag where she'd keep small things. Imagining her surprise, imagining her confusion, the look on her face when she found out I knew. I told myself it was a message. Betray me, and you will understand the taste of fear. That thought made my hands shake. It made my breath sound too loud. For 2 days, I lived in the small, brittle world of my secret. I replayed arguments, rehearsed confrontations, and checked my phone like a man waiting for thunder. I watched her in the mornings, as she moved through the apartment, with the casual intimacy of someone who belonged. She hummed to a song I didn't know, made the coffee I liked, asked about my day in the soft, habitual way that had once soothed me. Each ordinary gesture was a fresh twist of the knife. At the same time, a quieter part of me, the part raised on rules and the idea that you don't weaponize trust, began to whisper that what I was doing might break more than the bond between us. The moment of truth arrived not with a blow-up, but with a quiet, terrible honesty. She came home later than usual, eyes rimmed with fatigue, and sat me down at the table. "There's something I need to tell you," she said, and the world contracted. I watched her explain. An awkward encounter? That had turned out to be nothing more than a failed attempt at salvaging a past friendship. A condom kept from a storm of embarrassment, a text she hadn't sent. Her voice was steady, but I could see the apology in the way she folded her hands. When she was done, she looked at me the way you look at someone who has suddenly become very small and very human. That look dropped a weight on my chest. I could not meet it. Confession felt like breaking glass. I told her about finding the condom and about my awful, petty plan. I didn't spare the uglier details, and I watched, with a mix of dread and relief, as her face changed through confusion, hurt, and then a quiet, fierce disappointment. She didn't scream. She didn't leave. Instead, she asked a single devastating question. Why would you do that? I had no good answer. I said words about fear, about not knowing how to be brave, about how sometimes you hurt people because you're scared of being hurt. Saying them didn't make them true. Apology poured out of me like a clumsy, honest thing. It didn't fix anything immediately. We spent the night talking and not talking, crossing the small distance that had opened between us with tentative steps. She set boundaries I hadn't known how to respect, and I promised to learn how. There were no cinematic reconciliations, only slow work, counseling, honest check-ins, the awkward task of being trustworthy again. In the weeks that followed, I learned something sharper than guilt. That love is not a score to settle, but something you tend carefully. And that revenge, even imagined as a lesson, is a corrosive thing. The pepper spray in the bag was discarded safely, and the condom remained a reminder, not of proof of betrayal, but of the moment I chose fear over conversation. Choosing differently after that felt like the only way forward.